My girlfriend announced. I'm done. Moving out this weekend. Don't contact me. I replied. Okay. Changed the locks, packed her stuff, donated her expensive clothes. Days later, the person begging at my door wasn't just her, but also her mother who'd co-signed our lease. Original post. I, 31 male, had been with Natalie, 28, for about 2.5 years. We'd been living together for the past year in a 2-bedroom apartment that, honestly, I could barely afford on my salary as a middle school science teacher. Natalie worked in sales for a tech company, made about double what I did, but insisted on splitting rent 50-50 even though she knew I was stretched thin. The place was in a nice area she'd picked out, way above what I'd normally pay, but I went along with it because she wanted it. The problem started maybe 3 months before everything blew up. Natalie became obsessed with this idea that I wasn't ambitious enough. She'd make comments about how her co-workers' boyfriends were in finance or starting companies, how I should consider getting my master's degree to become a principal, how teaching middle school wasn't really a career so much as a stepping stone. I loved teaching, loved my kids, even the difficult ones, loved watching them figure out science concepts, loved coaching the robotics team after school. But to Natalie, it wasn't impressive enough. The final fight happened on a Thursday night in March. She came home from some work happy hour, clearly buzzed, and started in on me about a vacation her friend was taking to the Maldives. Jenny and her boyfriend are going for 2 weeks, she said. He just got promoted to VP. They're staying in one of those overwater bungalows. That's nice for them, I said, grading lab reports at the kitchen table. Don't you ever want to do stuff like that? Sure, eventually. When we save up. We'd have money if you made more. I looked up from my papers. Natalie, we've talked about this. I make what teachers make. You knew that when we met. Yeah, but I thought you'd want to advance. Do something more. I am doing something. I'm teaching kids. That's important. She rolled her eyes. God, you sound like a guidance counselor poster. Every job matters. Some jobs matter more than others, Justin. Some pay better. That's reality. Then maybe you should date someone in finance instead of a teacher. Maybe I should. The apartment went silent. We stared at each other. I waited for her to take it back, to say she didn't mean it. She didn't. You know what? She said, setting down her wine glass. I'm done. I'm moving out this weekend. Don't contact me. We're over. She grabbed her purse and went into the bedroom, slammed the door. I heard her on the phone with someone, probably her best friend Kayla, complaining about me. I sat there for about 5 minutes, then replied to her through the closed door. Okay. That was it. Just okay. I heard her pause her phone conversation, probably expecting me to beg or argue. When I didn't, she went back to talking. I slept on the couch that night. The next morning, Natalie left for work without saying a word. The second she was gone, I called my landlord. Hey Tom, it's Justin. I need to ask about our lease situation. Tom was a decent guy, older man who owned a few properties. What's up? My girlfriend and I are breaking up. She's moving out. But I need to know, is she on the lease? Let me check. No, just you. She was going to be added, but we never finalized that paperwork. What? Can I change the locks? It's your apartment, man. You can do whatever you want. She's not a tenant legally. Thanks, Tom. I'll get a locksmith out today. Next call was to a locksmith. Had new locks installed by noon. Cost me $120, but worth every penny. Then I started packing Natalie's stuff. She had a lot of stuff. Clothes, shoes, beauty products, decorations she'd insisted on buying. I packed methodically, room by room. Her expensive work clothes, her designer purse collection, her shoes that cost more than my monthly grocery budget. All of it went into boxes and trash bags. Except I made a decision while I was packing. Natalie had repeatedly made me feel small for being a teacher, for not making enough money, for not being ambitious enough. Those designer clothes she loved, the ones she'd bought to impress her work friends, I took them to Goodwill. Not all of them, just the really expensive ones. The suits that cost $500, the shoes that were $300 a pair, the handbags that cost more than my rent. I kept her regular clothes, but the status symbols? Gone. Donated to people who'd actually appreciate them. I texted her Friday afternoon. Your stuff is packed. You can pick it up this weekend as planned. She didn't respond. Saturday came and went. No Natalie. Sunday, same thing. Monday morning, I got a text. Where are you? I tried my key and it doesn't work. I replied, change the locks. Your stuff is in the hallway. Building management said you have until end of day to pick it up or they'll dispose of it. My phone immediately started ringing. I didn't answer. She called 6 more times, then switched to texts. You can't just change the locks. This is illegal. I'm calling the police. I replied once. Tom confirmed you're not on the lease. You're not a legal tenant. You said you were moving out. I facilitated that. Your belongings are available for pickup. Then I muted her contact. Around 2 p.m., someone knocked on my door. Hard, aggressive knocking that went on for like 30 seconds. I looked through the peephole. Natalie was there. And her mother, Patricia, who I'd met exactly 3 times. Patricia looked furious. I opened the door, but kept the chain on. Can I help you? Justin, what the hell is going on? Patricia demanded. You locked my daughter out of her own apartment? It's not her apartment. It's mine. She announced she was moving out. I packed her things. I gestured to the boxes and bags in the hallway. Natalie was crying. Where are my Gucci suits? My Louboutin heels? Those boxes don't have everything. I donated some items to charity. The rest is here. You what? Patricia looked like she might have a stroke. Those clothes cost thousands of dollars. Then she shouldn't have left them behind when she moved out. She didn't move out yet. She said this weekend. It is the weekend. It's Monday now, actually. She had all weekend to collect her belongings. Natalie was full-on sobbing now. I didn't think you'd actually do this. I thought you'd apologize. I thought we'd work it out. I looked at her carefully. You told me you were done. You told me not to contact you. You said you were moving out. I took you at your word. But I didn't mean it like that. How else would you mean? I'm done. Moving out. Don't contact me. Patricia jumped in. Justin, be reasonable. She was upset. People say things they don't mean. Maybe. But I'm a teacher, Mrs. Patterson. I take people at their word. When a student tells me they're not doing their homework, I believe them and mark it incomplete. When Natalie told me she was leaving, I believed her and prepared accordingly. This is ridiculous, Patricia said. Do you know I co-signed her portion of the lease? I blinked. What? The lease. When you two moved in. The landlord required a co-signer because Natalie's credit wasn't great. I co-signed thinking you two were serious. I didn't know that. But again, Tom confirmed Natalie was never actually added to the lease. So I'm not sure what you co-signed. Patricia's face changed. Went from angry to uncertain. That can't be right. Call Tom if you want. I'm not stopping you. Natalie grabbed her mother's arm. Mom, can we just take what's here and go? Please? I can't deal with this right now. They started loading boxes and bags into Patricia's car. Took them 3 trips. The whole time, Natalie kept crying and Patricia kept glaring at me. I stayed in the doorway, door mostly closed, watching. When they'd cleared everything, Natalie came back one more time. Stood in front of my door, looking pathetic. I'm sorry, she said. For what I said about your job. For saying I was done. I didn't mean it. Okay. Can we please talk about this? Like adults. We are talking. As adults. You made a decision. I respected it. That's adult behavior. Justin, please. I love you. You love the idea of me. Or you did until you decided I wasn't successful enough. Either way, we're done. Like you said. I didn't mean. Natalie, go home. Your stuff is gone. Your key doesn't work. There's nothing left here for you. She tried a few more times to change my mind, but eventually Patricia called her back to the car. They left. My phone blew up for the next week. Natalie, Patricia, Kayla, a couple of Natalie's co-workers I'd met. Everyone had opinions about how I'd handled things. How I was being petty. How I should have given her more time. How donating her expensive clothes was theft. I blocked them all except Patricia, who sent one final text. I hope you know you embarrassed my daughter. She told everyone you two were getting engaged soon. Now she has to explain why you threw her out. I replied, I didn't throw her out. She announced she was leaving. I simply made it easier. And if she told people we were getting engaged, that's news to me. We never discussed marriage. Patricia didn't respond after that. My buddy Alex, who I taught with, asked how I was doing the following week. Honestly, fine. Really fine. Dude, you broke up with your girlfriend of 2 years. You're allowed to be not fine. I spent the last 3 months being told I wasn't good enough. That my job didn't matter. That I should be more ambitious, make more money, be someone different. I'm relieved it's over. Fair enough. But donating her designer stuff? That's cold. She made me feel worthless for not having money. Seemed fitting to donate the symbols of her having it. Alex laughed. I mean, I get it. Still cold though. Maybe it was cold. But it felt right. I ran into Natalie 6 months later at a coffee shop. She was with some guy in a suit. Looked like he worked in finance or something. She saw me, froze, then quickly looked away. The guy said something to her, and she shook her head. I got my coffee and left without saying anything. A month after that, I matched with someone on a dating app. Her name was Sophie. She was an elementary school art teacher. Our first date, we spent 3 hours talking about difficult parents and budget cuts and how much we loved teaching despite everything. She didn't once ask about my salary or career trajectory. We've been together 8 months now. She thinks what I do matters. Never suggests I should do something else. Last week, one of my students won a regional science fair with a project I'd helped him develop. Sophie was more excited about it than I was. That's the difference. Natalie saw my job as a limitation. Sophie sees it as who I am. Natalie's probably fine wherever she is. Maybe she found her finance guy or VP boyfriend. Maybe she's still looking. Either way, it's not my problem. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Teaching kids. Dating someone who respects that. Living in an apartment I can afford without stretching myself thin to impress someone. And every time I see someone donate designer clothes at Goodwill, I smile a little. Call it petty. Call it cold. I call it closure.